iOS 18 not only brings some new accessibility features to iOS, but it also adds to existing features. You can now set up VoiceOver with more Braille screen input settings, such as automatically turning it on when you enter a text field, or the new gestures to enter and exit Braille screen input. To enable Braille screen input with the new gestures, just double tap with 2 fingers on opposite sides of the screen. If your fingers are too close to the center, it will invoke speech to text instead. To exit Braille screen input, pinch with 2 fingers in the center. To set up the new Braille screen input settings, head to Settings, Accessibility, VoiceOver, Braille, then Braille screen input. Under Motion in Settings, then Accessibility, you'll find some new features. Eye tracking is one of the new accessibility features Apple has introduced in iOS 18. It can be used on iPhones and iPads with Face ID, as it tracks the motion of your eyes to allow someone to navigate the iPhone with just their eyes. Unfortunately, due to the fact that I have nystagmus, I cannot test this feature out. It is another option for those who may be physically impaired and unable to use switch control or would prefer using eye tracking instead. Motion cues can help those who experience call sickness, displaying dots along either side of the display that moves in the directions the device senses while you're in a call. I personally do not experience call sickness, so I don't know how helpful this really is. Dim flashing lights can help reduce light that may cause seizures or be painful in media on your device. It doesn't work perfectly, but I find it helps me with my sensitive eyes. Another new feature you can toggle in Motion is Prefer Non-Blinking Cursor. This turns the cursor to solid when typing instead of a blinking cursor as shown here. In Live Speech, you can now categorize saved phrases. This can help you more easily access frequently used phrases depending on the current situation. You can set up new categories in the Live Speech settings or while Live Speech is active. Vocal Shortcuts is another new feature and allows you to set up custom voice commands to run shortcuts or perform actions on the device. I find it works about half the time, but it's handy when it does. Do note that it does drain the device's battery significantly, and it may interfere with other features you may have enabled. Toggle VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on. Shortcuts. Weather. Latino. 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy. High of 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Low of 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Actions available.
Toggle VoiceOver.
Zoom VoiceOver. Toggle VoiceOver. Zoom enabled. VoiceOver off.
Music Haptics uses the Haptic engine in your iPhone to vibrate the device with music. With the customizable control center, you can now add many of the accessibility features to it to toggle them on and off without having to go into settings, which is extremely helpful and a big game changer compared to before. I personally love that I can add my custom shortcut to toggle between VoiceOver and Zoom since I use both of these, but I don't like how they interfere with each other when they're both active. And that's a quick look at the updates and new accessibility features in iOS 18.